represents the program group, and the light blue bar represents the no program group. Only 1 out of 3 children who did not have the preschool program was ready for school at age 5. But 2 out of 3 who had the preschool program were ready. By age 14, the program group was more committed to school than the no program group. They did more homework and talked to their parents about school more often. As compared to only 15% of the no program group, half of the program group attained a basic level of school achievement. More of the program group graduated from high school. As adults, more of the program group were employed, and their earnings were higher. Only 2/3 as many of the program group were arrested 5 or more times. The preschool program cut violent crime by 1/3, drug crime by 3/5, and property crime by 2/5. The strongest program effect for females was high school graduation. Almost twice as many of the females who had the preschool program graduated from high school. The strongest program effect for males was on arrests. Only 2/3 as many males who had the preschool program were arrested 5 or more times by age 40. The preschool program had a large return on investment. For each dollar invested, the program returned $16.14, 4/5 of it to the public and 1/5 to participants in the form of higher earnings. The public return came from savings in education, welfare, and crime costs to victims and the criminal justice system. The study was the first to find various long-term effects and return on investment for a high-quality preschool program. Other studies that have found similar effects include the North Carolina Abecedarian Child Care Study and the Chicago Child Parent Center Study. To get what we got, you've got to do what we did. Teachers should receive training and supervision to use a validated model of interactive education such as HighScope. They must hold daily classes for 3- and 4-year-olds, especially those at greatest risk of school failure. Every class should have a certified teacher and assistant teacher for 16 to 20 children. Teachers must visit families regularly, even weekly, to discuss their children's development. Teachers must regularly assess their program implementation and children's progress using observational assessment tools such as the Preschool Child Observation Record. The government should invest in high-quality preschool programs that are like the programs with long-term effects. Existing Head Start, state preschool, and child care programs are on the right track. We should invest more to help them achieve the quality they need.
So Mr. Watkins gave you some information about what the researchers say, and you've heard from the experts from the longest research program that has ever been conducted in the area of early childhood education from Ypsilanti. So the state of Missouri has taken all of the research, and the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education has come up with the state's vision and standards for early childhood education. And for the sake of tonight's discussion, we're going to limit early childhood education to 3s and 4s, and primarily we're looking at 4s, the age of 4. Okay, so what DESE, the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, says about its vision is that all children will have access to high-quality early childhood education. Now that's a really important statement because sometimes people think that perhaps preschool education would be for those who live in poverty or for those who have proven on an assessment test that they are falling behind, which is absolutely the truth. But what the research says is that for every child to reach their potential, every child, they need an early childhood, a quality early childhood experience. DESE also says that the curriculum should be based on research and best practice. It does not just come in and play with children or color pictures. It's a research-based curriculum. Teachers must hold a 4-year degree in early childhood. I do not know why some people believe that for every other age level of child or student, that a certificated teacher is the best. As a matter of fact, we have research that says the number one thing that makes a difference for the child in the classroom is the quality of the teacher. And so if most of the brain is developed by the time a child gets to age 5, why would we not want to put certified quality teachers in front of all of our four-year-olds? DESE also says the community's needs should be identified annually. 4-year-olds are not the same as kindergarten through 6th grade, and they have different needs, and their families have different needs. The staff in these programs must participate in high-quality professional development, just like every other grade level. Program evaluation must be conducted annually. Their performance must be evaluated, and I will tell you that's not about how pretty their classroom looks, although that's important, about what the classroom arrangement looks like, but it's about what kind of outcomes are we getting from the program. Are the children being challenged? Are the children being moved developmentally? There should be a 10-to-1 student-teacher ratio per classroom, and programs should be licensed and accredited. Partnerships should be formed with all stakeholders in the community, which is why you are sitting here tonight, we hope. Did you know that nearly 20% of all births in Buchanan County were to mothers with less than 12 years of school? And that a mother's education is directly related to children's early acquisition of basic cognitive, social, and emotional skills. Did you know that 53% of kindergarten students in St. Joseph do not exhibit the age-appropriate skills on the DIAL-3, which is the entrance exam assessment screening that we give to every child who is coming into kindergarten? 53%. So I want you to remember what Mr. Watkins taught you about catching up. By the end of 2nd grade, 42% of these students are still reading below grade level. Now, we have closed the gap from 53 to 42 in grades K, 1, and 2, and that's through the hard work of our teachers and a rigorous curriculum. But we still have 42% reading below grade level. By the end of 3rd grade, that number gets a little lower, but the scary news is if you are not reading on grade level by the end of 3rd grade, your chances of catching up, your chances of being successful in future grade levels, especially high school, are very slim. 56% of all births at Heartland are covered by Medicaid. I'm going to let you switch the screen, Zach. So what do we have going on in the world of early childhood education in the St. Joseph School District? Well, we have the capacity to serve 200 4-year-olds in a Title I preschool. In other words, we have room for 200. We also can serve about 124 early childhood special education students that have been tested and diagnosed with special needs. Based on Title I guidelines, which is a federal program, the district must first serve students that demonstrate the most need on that DIAL screening. So we screen all the students that come to screening, and guess what? They don't all come, but of all the students that come to the screening, we serve the ones that show and demonstrate the most need for the service. 474 3- and 4-year-olds were just screened in March of this year. That's all they could handle. And we already have 160 additional appointments made for a June screening because they either didn't call in time or we couldn't get them all in. But this is the saddest point of the whole slide. Each year, due to a lack of seats, we have screened them, we know they have the need, and these are the struggling students. We know they have the need, but we don't have the seats. There are more students that want it and need the service than we have seats. So where are our preschools? The Title I preschools are at Edison, 2 at Hosea, 1 at Humboldt, Lindbergh, Parkway, and I don't know why the 2 fell down there, but there are 2 at Webster. The early childhood special education preschools are at Lake, Pickett, and Webster.